September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. I'm going to give you a quick example of a client that we helped recently and how we customize their insurance plan. This is kind of a trick for people who have younger families and mortgages and colleges to pay for. So we have a couple, they live in Illinois, they make $500,000 a year, they had $1 million, I think, of life insurance. If they both passed away and left their kids behind, they need multiple millions of dollars to pay for all the things they expect to cover in their working careers. So if you go out and you get an insurance quote for $5 million between a couple and it's whole life or universal life, you're going to be pretty blown away. That cost will be enormous. It could be as much as you're putting into your 401k. That's probably not feasible. It's not the best place for your dollars. So instead, you want to use term life insurance. We joke we're a little bit of termites. That's a bad life insurance joke. We prefer to do low-cost term insurance, let you keep most of your dollars flowing into things like 401ks. So for this couple, what we did is we applied for a really big life insurance amount, $5 million of term life insurance, just to get approved. You have to go through underwriting. In this case, there was some oncology history. We wanted to make sure we got a good result on this big policy. Then, once we have the result we want from underwriting, we go back and we chop it up to make it affordable. So this is a nice insurance trick. If you're approved for, say, $5 million of term life for 30 years, we can carve that up and make it less expensive. So we might take $1 million of 30-year coverage, then take $1 million of 20-year coverage, and take $2 million of 10-year coverage. When you start shortening all those coverage amounts, you really lower the cost, especially from like a whole life or a universal life, and it's even a lot less expensive than just 30-year term insurance. So this is a good example of how we customize insurance for folks. We're going to go get you approved for something large, then we're going to let that insurance company let us chop it up into some smaller pieces that drops your cost, but as your wealth grows, you're dropping off those insurance premiums. So you have a big chunk of insurance for the next 10 years. That's probably your riskiest years. Your kids are the youngest, your mortgage is the biggest, and your 401k is the smallest. By year 2025, you don't have as many of those liabilities, and you could just end up with that one long-term policy that I talked about. So customizing insurance is really important. Young couples, we can help make it more affordable than you might think and make sure that you have really adequate coverage to keep your family safe. If you go shop life insurance on your own, you'll very likely end up with some sales pitches, which can be uncomfortable. You're going to probably encounter someone offering whole life or universal life. Those policies are great, but they can be extremely expensive, and there may be a better solution for you. So really, I suggest calling someone like our team. They can customize a plan for you. They can make sure that it costs less than I bet what you're thinking going into it, and make sure you come out of it with a very happy result, and then you don't have to think about dying for quite a long time.